This is my project on neurofibromatosis, also known as NF, okay? NF is also known as peripheral neurofibromatosis, Recklinghausen disease, von Recklinghausen disease, and it has two categories, NF1 and NF2. Just read that, please. NF1 and NF2. NF as a whole is considered an autosomal dominant disorder. Anyone can get NF1 or NF2 because it can be mutated. And by that, I actually mean like everyone had the chance of getting it, not necessarily it's contagious, just to clear that up. NF can be inherited or mutated. Parents can test their children to see if they've got it, or look at the family history to see if there's a possibility that the children might get it. NF is occasionally diagnosed in infancy, but more often in kids between the ages of 3 and 16 years old. Kids diagnosed with mild NF who remain fairly healthy into early adulthood are less likely to develop more serious complications later in life. There's no specific cure for NF, but tumors usually can be removed and complications treated. The only treatment for a child with NF is treatment for its side effects, such as like if you're deaf because of it, hearing aids, removal of neurofibromas, and removal of tumors. Oh yeah, I messed that up in the last time I tried this. But basically it says here is that some kids can also get learning disabilities. So like in class and stuff you might need help learning or paying attention. ADHD is actually one of the side effects, but it does not mean if you have ADHD you have this, just to let you guys know. Kids diagnosed with more serious forms often have correctable complications and with the appropriate help and support can lead happy and productive lives. People with NF can have children, but because it's inherited, there is a chance that your child will get NF after all. NF1. NF1 is located on the 17th chromosome. The NF1 gene is responsible for producing a protein that helps regulate the growth of nerve tissue. The protein switches off the growth of tissue once it reaches a certain size. In someone with NF1, the gene is faulty. NF1 NF1 occurs 1 in every 4,000 births. Side effects are physical characteristics, traits, I don't know. Flat, light brown spots on the skin, tiny bumps on the iris of your eye, soft bumps under or on your skin, bone deformities, tumor in the optic nerve which would affect seeing, learning disabilities larger than average head size, and short stature, which means you're short, I think. But yeah, I'm tying this back into our earlier topics that we learned in class. It's like a trait that you see. It's like a characteristic. I don't know if I'm using that right, but it's a characteristic. Treatment for NF1 includes the neurofibromas for cosmetic purposes, treating complications, and getting intervention from, yeah, you already went over that. Kids will be referred to appropriate medical specialists to monitor and treat complications, which may include seizures. Up to 40% of children with NF1 have them. High blood pressure, scoliosis, speech impairment, optic nerve tumors, which would affect your seeing, and early delayed onset of puberty, which I got from that when I first read it, was like if you're a 6-year-old girl, you could have like boobs, like a 6-year-old girl with like full on boobs, or if you're like a 6-year-old boy, you could be like hecka ripped and have like armpit hair. But I'm not so sure if that's what it means. That's just what I got from it. But don't. That's not a fact. And also, neurofibromas can become cancerous. There's a 3 to 5% chance of that. NF2, neurofibromatosis type 2, is a disorder characterized by the growth of non-cancerous tumors throughout the nervous system. The most common tumors associated with NF2 are called that word and acoustic neuromass. NF2 has been traced to the 22nd chromosome. It occurs in less than 1 in every 40,000 births, and NF2 is usually not diagnosed until a child is older. Symptoms of NF2 are hearing loss in the late teens and early 20s. It's often among the first symptoms of the disorder. And this is caused by tumors growing on the auditory nerves on one or both sides, I'm guessing, of the brain. Other symptoms of NF2 include contagious ringing in the ears, headaches, facial pain, and feeling unsteady or off balance. Unlike NF1, people with NF2 have few skin abnormalities and do not typically have the little brown spots that we talked about earlier, or freckling or leafish nodules. That stuff. Most signs of NF2 are tumors that grow on the nerves and inside the brain. So basically, in a nutshell, NF2 would be more of internal, so it's not going to be expressed as much. Again, I think that's called the characteristic, and NF1 will have the bumps like this. I'm pretty sure I missed the line somewhere here saying that you can get neurofibromass removed for cosmetic purposes, and this is neurofibromass, just to let you know. These are my sources, and finally, I think I'm done because it's like 11 o'clock and I want to go to bed. So, this is my project. Semi! And goodbye.